Hi there, it's Myrna Loy of Black Bright News, and I just wanted to do a little clip on Jamaica independence, which is on the 6th of August. Jamaica went independent in 1962 on the 6th of August, and prior to that, in 1958, about 11 countries, Caribbean countries, got together and formed the Federation of the West Indies. In 1961, Jamaica decided to vote against joining the Federation, and they went independent in 1962, like I said before. Jamaica sometimes gets a bad rap for the crime, and you'll notice that the media is always slamming and talking about how bad Jamaica is, and I know there's a lot of killings. Most of the killings are black on black killings, and that is not to reduce the negativity of those killings, but you know, it's to kind of say it doesn't really affect tourism. We noticed in the news, I think in June it was, a retired British couple, they called them, which comprised the black man and his white wife. They were murdered in Jamaica. And in Canada in July of this year, I noticed that they said Canadians were murdered in Jamaica. These were in fact black Jamaicans who had taken on a Canadian nationality. What pees me off though is that they don't say Jamaicans kill Jamaicans. When it suits them, all of a sudden they become British and they become Canadian. And that's not to minimise who they are. But a Canadian, when I think of a Canadian, I think of a white Canadian. When I think of a British, I think of white British. When I'm thinking, especially if I'm thinking about them visiting another country. So if you're going to Jamaica and I hear, oh, 2 Britons got killed or 2 Canadians got killed, I'm going to think, oh, that's white people. And, you know, and what I notice is it's very, very, very rarely white people get killed in Jamaica, because they don't want it to affect their tourism and their tourist numbers. And so the white people in Jamaica are very protected. And it's not fair that they don't protect black people with as much zeal, but they have their reasons. Jamaica is most famous for its bauxite, its agriculture, and of course its tourism. That's where they get the most money from. It's when they went independent, they didn't realise that all the support they got from England and America before would be withdrawn, so they've been struggling on their own. They've managed to accrue a debt of 650 million Jamaican dollars, which seems a lot, but when you compare it to America, who owes 18.5 trillion US dollars. Remember, the 650 million Jamaican dollars, that's Jamaican dollars, compared with America's 18.5 trillion US dollars. England, their debt is, what is their debt? 1.78 trillion. So yeah, they make out like Jamaica is in debt and everything, and it's such a bad country, but it's not, otherwise people wouldn't keep going there. The beautiful islands, the food is absolutely delicious, the weather is fantastic, and like I said, you go to, on a tourist package holidays, you know, you're well treated and you're kept safe. So what else is there? Of course, we all know the famous people of Jamaica. We've got Bob Marley, Usain Bolt. I mean, to be honest, there's too many to mention, and I don't want to mention them all at the expense of leaving out some. So if you want to know who the Jamaican celebrities are, and the famous and the leaders, like Marcus Garvey and all of those, just Google it. Google Jamaican famous, Jamaican leaders, Jamaican heroes. It'll all come up. What else do I need to mention? I did write down a couple of things. Oh, I wanted to read this one out because I won't remember it word for word. Jamaica, no, Jamaican is one of the slowest growing developing countries in the world. However, Jamaica's credit rating has improved, and Jamaica's bonds trade is at a premium in the international market, according to the World Bank. Now, that's very interesting because while it's the poorest growing, it shows that international markets are investing in Jamaica, and they know its worth and they know its value. And I wish Jamaicans knew the worth and the value of their country or their island, their little island. But instead of killing off each other, you know, it'd be such a shame, through drugs, through everything, they don't appreciate the value of Jamaica. And if they, you know, I heard the Chinese are taking over, everybody's investing in Jamaica. And except for the Jamaicans themselves, most of the there's 2.7 million Jamaicans who've moved out of the country, whether it's through sports, whatever it is. And they've left about 2.7 million inside. So these Jamaicans are going outside, making money for countries outside. The countries outside Jamaica are benefiting from the music, from the sports, from everything. So they've got new highways in Jamaica. So it is building up. It's really becoming quite an island to go to. I love it. I've been there about 5 times. I would go there again if I can be bothered with all the packing and the travelling. As I get older, I'm not so keen to travel. I can go to Spain now, you know, and get the hot sun for about an hour's flight. But that's not to say I won't go back. I definitely will. Petty theft is a lot of what happens when it does affect tourists, as opposed to killings and murders. What else is there? Public debt, I've already mentioned that. Did I mention that? Yeah, I think I did. Jamaica owes 650 trillion compared to England's 1.78 trillion debt and America's 18.2 trillion. So what they owe is minuscule compared to the larger countries. I think that's all. Yeah. So all I'm trying to say is, don't let the media turn you off Jamaica. Don't let it put you off. It's getting really expensive to go there, and that's supposed to be another deterrent. The people in Jamaica are finding it harder and harder to leave Jamaica because of the visas and other restrictions. So it's like they're imprisoned in there, and that's why the crime rate has gone up, because they just feel imprisoned. And I mean, even if they had the option to leave, it wouldn't be so bad. But yeah, England, they withdrew from England, and so I can understand why England is eager to deport them. All of those Jamaicans who came to Britain before 1962, but prior to their independence, they were all British citizens. It's only after 1962, when Jamaica went independent, when Jamaicans who came to England after 1962 needed to get visas and all of those kind of things. So I hope this has been useful. I shall be doing a Jamaican independence reggae show on www.loversrockradio.com this Friday, the 3rd of August, between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. That's UK time. I think that might be 2 p.m, 4 p.m. EST. I'm not sure. You'll have to double check that. But if you do fancy listening to some reggae music, you know, that's commemorating the Jamaican independence, please lock in. That's www.loversrockradio.com. There is an app, so you can download it all over the world, or you can just go to the internet and download it. Well, I hope you found this little brief Jamaican independence video useful. Bye-bye.